Ladies, gentlemen, let the show begin. Alright, do you like video games? And I know you do. What about entertainment? We got that too. Video game, I'm on a video game. Video game, oh, what's the name? Video Game Armada. Alright, let's see who's next. I got.
There's Tasha Yar. There's Wesley Crusher.
I feel bad for Tasha Yar. She has to get the number 7 spot because she didn't last very long.
Yeah.
If she would have went the whole way through, I would have bumped her up to maybe even number 4. But again, she didn't really last that long, so she gets the number 7 slot.
I wonder what the dynamic of that show would have been like if she did last.
A very good question, but hey, her great-great-granddaughter turns out to be a Romulus spy super agent, so there you go. I'm all good. I'm all about that life. That was a very good mix. I love it. But let's see here. Which leaves Wesley, and I do feel bad because everyone makes that trope. And I don't believe Wesley in his character in itself is a bad character. Even when he became the Time Child and with the Traveler, even that wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it's just, he was just not cool enough. Because, you know, even with, like, Jordy LaFord getting captured all the time, you know, hurts all the time and just being a nerd, even he was cooler than Wesley. And that's a problem. I'll even give Wesley credit. He actually saved the Enterprise a couple of times. My personal favorite is with helping the whole crew with their gaming addiction with the saucers in the tornado. But even still, Geordi is way cooler than him.
Yeah.
So you know he's got to be bottom tier. I'm sorry. So what's your ranking
For Star Trek?
for Next Generation?
All right,
Because this is what people do now. They do tier lists. We're probably the last one doing tier lists now, but screw it.
All right, so let's see. Picard has to be number 1 for me because he, for all his stuffy, very British Frenchness, you know, for all his posturing and his sarcasm and snark.
Are we just fighting Krillin by himself?
Yeah.
Oh, the poor bald man.
Let's see what he has to say. Like, we just skipped everyone. Because we actually got story this time.
I think so.
I think we're gonna get this monetized.
How
Or to monetize, depending on your purview.
Hey, so far all these Let's Play for Dragon Ball Fighter Z hasn't gotten any like flags, so that's a beautiful thing. Let me tell you. I need to feed. Give her Snickers, man. Because she's gonna go all magical Majin Buu android on me. Yes.
Unless she can get some energy.
So, you know, I love the Dragon Ball gaming verse, but I wonder if all these characters are going to make it into the actual Dragon Ball cartoons. I mean, this is like other dimensions, so they should. Okay, here we go.
Krillin! 18, are you okay?
I was afraid this might happen.
Return to the past now.
You were. But what the heck?
But why?
What are you doing here?
Isn't it obvious? I came to save 18. 16. Is that
No,
you?
I'm Android 8. Look at me looking like Frankenstein over here.
Did you have anything to do with our power getting sealed away? Sealed away?
Krillin, hold on a minute. What are you talking about?
The energy-suppressing waves. A machine Dr. Giro invented is emitting waves that suppress all energy.
Oh yeah, Dr. Giro invented it. Or did he? Maybe he did. Or is it just a scapegoat to say, oh no, it's Android 21?
Did you guys activate the machine?
Machine? Of course not. We had nothing to do with it. Right, 16?
Right, 16.
We did not activate
She did.
But you had something to do with it, right?
Maybe.
Say something already.
Dude.
Come on.
Oh, here we go. She going berserk.
What the?
21. Stay calm.
No, I can't resist any longer. Now, I can finally.
That anime trope of creepy eyes and overshadow.
I'm gonna eat myself a Krillin ball.
Listen, you need to flee for now.
Are you nuts? There is no way I'd leave you behind here.
Oh, darn.
What happened?
I skipped some dialogue.
Ah, that's okay.
I don't know what you're up to, but keep my wife out of it. Come on, 18. Let's go home. We have a family to protect. You don't want to go back to how you used to be.
Wow.
I want to be home with you, but not like this. Love, family. Don't be silly. Androids have no need for such nonsense.
Ooh.
21.
You two, fight right now.
You two fight.
I can't. There's no way, Krillin. Tell them I won't fight you. Fine. If you won't do it, then I will do it for you.
What?
Yep.
No. You can't let Krillin fight 21 when she's like this.
This isn't looking too good. 18. You need to fight with Krillin now. If you don't, 21 will kill you.
Well, that's a tentative situation.
Yeah.
That's gonna make
Yeah.
Thanksgiving a little awkward.
Yeah.
You let Krillin die. I'll make sure you pay.
Oh, threaten me. I didn't do anything.
What did we do? We're hostages. We're your fight slave. We didn't do anything.
Alright, this is going to be interesting. Anyway, Picard is a cool character. A very, very layered, cool character. Where I was watching all these obligatory Saturday morning cartoons and Disney cartoons, and not saying Scrooge McDuck himself wasn't layered, but I was watching obligatory cartoons and stuff like Married with Children. You know, when I was a kid, I shouldn't have been, but I was. Picard was so deep and so nuanced. Bruce Wayne was equally as deep and nuanced as Batman the Animated Series, but somehow Picard was more because of the adult stuff we didn't know about yet. But he was just so good at his job, so competent. It makes you realize why Starfleet hired him and made him a captain in the first place. You know?
Yep.
A lot of that has to do with his experience, his artificial heart that he got by fighting a Nausicaan, having a captainship he wasn't ready for at first, but clearly became ready. He, you know, all his experience made him who the man he is, and for better or worse, he excelled and made it his own.
Yep. He was a gentleman and a scholar.
Yeah. Let's see, who am I second? I gotta give it to Data. That show was his show more than anyone else's, aside from Captain Jean-Luc Big Duh and possibly Worf. You know, it was his ascension into humanity, and you know, for someone who didn't have emotion, he had a lot of emotion, and his role was so important in that show. I can't bear but give anyone number 2. Let's see what this says. Now I'll continue my list. Andrew attack. Stop 21.
Stop.
Why?
Darn it.
Fun.
He is only unconscious.
No, duh. I fought him.
Yep.
Thank goodness.
So, 21. Satisfied now?
He looks
Oh, she's got those cream puff eyes.
Yep. When she gets hungry, she gets crazy. Eat a Snickers. I think we said this before.
Yes, we made that joke, but it's okay. It is still it's still good. It's still good. Rawr. My innate evilness, it's now revealed. Finally, it took forever. No, I don't know how you don't believe it. It was like a long time coming.
She wants to eat us. Has she gone insane?
Can you eat an android?
Cell did it to the wrong end.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, I suppose he was designed to eat an android. Can she turn an android into, like, a donut?
What? Wow.
What? Is that even possible?
Ooh. You know what? She is vulnerable at the state. That's interesting.
I gotta give it a try.
I gotta give it a try.
I know it's not cutting it. She's about to kill everybody.
I know. Why didn't we think about this before the 2 other chapters?
I have no idea. No one actually said it could work. Till 16 said,
We're that special kind of anime protagonist. We didn't know because no one told us to do it.
yeah.
Ah, there's the other half. The Chateau clone.
Wow.
And there goes the Majin side. It's a classic Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde sort of situation.
Are you okay?
Hey, you okay? Buster Wolf!
Wait, are you? Do you really intend to stop?
Yeah?
Why do you have a second part in you?
Well, that's the evil Majin half.
Why does she have an evil Majin half?
You know she experimented on her body, man.
Oh, gosh.
Like mad scientists tend to do.
Thank you.
You know?
I can manage.
They can't help themselves. They do what they...
Hold on.
Plop!
I think I did it again.
She's unconscious in her own head.
Yeah.
You know, mad scientists, they can't just be satisfied with the status quo. They gotta get knowledge or plop.
That I didn't do.
And they're trying to get the status quo. They got to, improve humanity. They think they're the smartest person in the room.
Yeah, always.
And you know what? That's how Hank Pym created Ultron. And Ultron is a giant metal monster.
Good work.
You know?
Really saved the day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, scientists, don't get me wrong. I like Mr. Fantastic and all. But, not everyone has his temperament.
As expected.
And even though writers out there try to make him a jerk, everyone knows Mr. Fantastic ain't like that.
He's still
He created the wood gun, for goodness sake.
But I took him
Yep.
to a safe place. I didn't exactly have time to wait.
Well, I guess a safe place is fine. But he's coming back, and he's going to bring Goku next
So I'm sure
time.
one of his allies will come get him.
Yep.
Okay, that explains that a lot.
But Goku's going to come back.
Yeah.
I would not have been able to stop.
And that'll be a field day for Android 16. Goku.
That's, someone else said. I think that should be. We should tell them, or do we have questions?
No, I don't think it's going to matter too much. We might as well let them know, though. We could say we did our due diligence.
What do you mean someone else? So she was linked with another
Ooh,
soul?
maybe it's another soul. Evil soul. That'll be interesting.
This problem is going to be more of a pain in the neck than I thought.
That would make some sense.
Put us through? You owe us some answers.
So do I. We want answers. My link
Yo.
partner and I feel the same way.
Now for my backstory.
First, I must heal.
Or we heal 21, then my backstory. Oh, no, we heal 21, then we fight the clones, then my backstory. So you were saying?
All right.
Saying. There's plenty of sayings around here.
Yeah. So okay. So number 3 is Jordy. Jordy, by far.
You give the nerd the number 3 spot?
Yeah, because Jordy's my favorite freaking character. I am biased. What can I tell you?
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, look, Jordy may be a jobber overall when it comes to things like plot relevance and romance and combat. You know? And, I mean, I'll tell you something. We don't usually let Armada Towers, Muscle Tower secrets leave this place and when we do Video Game Armada. But I'll let you know this. I'm African American. Or African Dog Kingian, depending on which review of your conundrum. I'm black. So to have a character like Geordi, that's a big inspiration to me. Plus, you're right. He had those cool space glasses. I had blonde. My favorite fighting game characters are as follows, unless there's a special exception, like Yamcha. Black guys, blonde-haired guys, guys with sunglasses. No exceptions unless they're evil and they're irredeemable. And even then, I liked Vega, who was technically blonde. For a little bit, at least.
So the perfect character would have been Blade from Eternal Champions with a dye job.
Yep. But, I even like Blade from Eternal Champions. But, more to my point. I mean, it's not like he's not warranted. Geordi is a genius. He was promoted to chief engineer from Helm console, I think. I'm not good with all those different things in the front. You know, while like I said, he's a very bold jobber in combat, but so many adventures in Star Trek relied on his ingenuity and genius. And he might have done it with Data. He might have did it with his wannabe boo, I forget her name, the holodeck one. Mm-hmm. He might have did it with Scotty. The fact remains, he was always the constant. And honestly, you know, he's just a cool guy. When it comes to his job, or it comes to people he doesn't know or trust yet, he could be quite a hard A. Mm-hmm. You know, but overall, he's just a cool guy. And, you know, that goes a lot for his character, you know? He doesn't have that moral complexity like the likes of Picard, Data, even Wesley and Worf, and even Troy. But he doesn't need it. He's just... Sometimes you just need just a standard guy. And that's what Geordi is. Except for one person, that would be Commander Riker at my number 4. Mm-hmm. And if Geordi is a good, normal guy, then you take the black away from him, take the visor away from him, take the genius nerd away from him, slap a beard on him, make him like 50 pounds bigger or so, I think.
Taller, maybe?
Tough and taller and stronger and has all the charisma that can fill the entire ship.
And slight daddy issues.
And you got Riker. Riker can also be a hard A for people under his command that isn't part of the senior staff. But, you know, just like he plays second command very, very well. He rarely oversteps his boundaries from Picard, but he knows his instinctive red alert or giving orders without Picard giving orders to give orders means that he's on a certain wavelength with Picard. That's pretty epic. He can handle himself in a fight. He's pretty tough, you know, and you know what, even though he's probably as far as intelligence goes, I mean, in command structure, he's smart enough. You have to be in Starfleet. But most of the time, things have to be explained to him through an engineer, or a super smart android, or a doctor, or a weapons specialist, or a biologist, geologist, you know, so all sorts of things. But even Picard has his own specialities, if I remember correctly. He had some science backgrounds in his day. But Riker can understand it and knows how to form a plan of action. You know, he's also not afraid to speak his mind, which is quite good. You know, I mean, and when he grew the beard, he grew the beard. He was once a cocky, clean cut officer, and he turned into someone said something great. I'm gonna do 4.5 for Worf because, aside from that stoic Klingon nature, well, stoic Worf nature, he's embraced his love of all things Klingon. He's pretty much Riker. He's just as much of a Mac with the ladies. He's just as big, definitely stronger. And, you know, he might not be the smartest of all the Starfleet members, but ultimately, he's clever enough to know the ins and outs of diplomacy, especially with Klingon relations, and understanding how, like, a monarchy or a totalitarian regime works, I think. I hope I'm making sense here.
I mean, with the Klingons, I think it's more like Congress.
Yeah.
You do have an emperor, but the emperor's like a president.
Yeah.
So it's not like one has more power than the other. Maybe the emperor is sort of like, or is it Grand Chancellor? Or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah, and then of all the characters, his story seems to me the most interesting, you know? And it's just like, the only reason, other than the fact that I like frickin' Geordi, as he's one of my favorites, that he's behind Geordi and Riker is because he has his personality, just like Picard and Data. They're very deep, very layered, very complex.